What's up, everybody? We are back with the Three Black Guys show. Put up your threes.
Here we go.
Threes. And we wait a minute.
Oh, there we go. Oh, get them up there.
Oh, seven. We got seven tonight, so throw up your sevens. What's up, everybody, man? So glad you guys kicked in again tonight, man. Once you log in, click like and share. Let us know where you're from. We are talking about marriage during the pandemic, something that I believe none of us have ever been through.
None of us.
If we was all a little older, maybe somebody else. But even when we had the SARS, the MARS, H1N1, that wasn't quite
Ebola.
I remember Ebola.
Swine flu, bird flu. It wasn't quite like what we're dealing with now, and we are not going to talk about, being prepared for these pandemics to come through. Not like there was a playbook we could have used. Huh?
You don't want to get me started, man.
Right.
We can get it going now,
But what I want to do, man, is introduce everybody, man. We have a full night tonight. We are talking about marriage during the pandemic. Of course, I am Stephen Myers, and this is the one and only beautiful CEO of everything. My beautiful wife, and we like to say Wakanda forever. And of course, you've got the wonderful angry black guy, Mr. Mario Leonard.
Mario Leonard, this is my queen, Erica Leonard.
Awesome.
CEO and
the boss.
Okay.
Just call me the boss.
Okay.
Oh.
Of all things,
All
Leonard,
right.
she made me change to the man cave. I told her women aren't allowed in the man cave. It's like a woman-free zone. But she was like, no, you're going in the man cave.
Okay. James Fred, introduce yourself, man, and then I'm going to introduce the wonderful Johnsons.
Y'all know who it is. It's me. It's James. I'm the odd man out tonight. But that's all right. That's all right. I still got some input.
You can put a spin on the subject.
Yeah, we don't talk about it. I ain't putting no spin on it. I done been married before, so hey.
Right. He knows all about it.
Right.
Okay, guys, so let me introduce our special guest tonight. You already see them. They are a beautiful couple. I love these guys, man. We've known them. Good Lord. We've known them for 6, 7.
How old is your baby boy? Because he was a baby.
7.
He's 7.
He's 7.
So it's a good thing. He could barely talk.
And these are the Johnsons, guys. George and his beautiful wife, the better half, the best half, the greatest half, his wife, Kimberly. I'm sorry, Dr. Kimberly Johnson in the house. Yes, and they are marriage gurus. Now, when me and my wife, we had a morning show, the Bridge Morning Show, they would come on monthly and share some tips in marriage on the Bridge Morning Show.
Right.
Bishop George, I got used to saying that. I used to call him pastor, but now it's Bishop. He's big time.
Oh, no, I don't know about that,
But Bishop, tell us a little bit about you and your wife and all that you guys do with marriage. I want to first shout out. We got McLeonard on, we got Carlton Mack on, and we got Miss Tracy. Hey, lady, how y'all doing? All right, Bishop Johnson, go.
Oh man, this is my beautiful wife Kim. Like she just said, I'm George, and we've been in the ministry now for about 20 years. We've been in marriage for 20 years. We pastored, we've done outreach, we've done evangelism work, and throughout all of that, when you're doing this kind of work, I believe that the Lord begins to narrow your focus. So it's maybe about 5 years ago. I was used to do the midday motivations, and I would travel and do motivational speaking. And about 5 years ago, I believe the Lord began to narrow my focus on the family. Mm-hmm. And I began to see that there was a big void when everybody was teaching people how to move forward in life, how to gain this in life, how to move their career forward, how to move their jobs forward. how to pick this, how to do that, but nobody was focusing on the family. So in the midst of all of that, my wife and I, we began to say, you know what, we're going to become an open book to the world. And we're going to share the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to share about the time that she left me. She walked out and left me.
I went on a little mini vacation.
I said, we're going to tell everybody that. You know, when I came home, the house was empty, no furniture, and there was a letter, and she had left. So, you know, we just said we're going to tell everybody the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because a lot of times in life, you think that what you're going through, you're handling it all alone. You're handling it by yourself. And I remember when we were in pastoring, we was reaching people, leading people to Christ. I mean, we had a thriving ministry, but at home, we hated each other. I mean, we were on two separate pages. And a lot of times, people think just because you're successful in one area, that means you automatically going to be successful in the other. And so that's what we began to do about 5 years ago. We just began to tailor our ministry just more toward family, children, marriage, how to handle this, how to handle strife, how to handle sex in the bedroom, you know, how to love each other the right way, you know, because a lot of times we love out of our own selfish needs. So that's what we've been doing for about 5 to 7 years now.
Awesome. I want to talk about sex. Let's talk about sex, baby.
Hey, hey. My favorite. My wife don't want to talk about this. She's like, hold on, man. You know, I go rated R. You know.
But seriously, I'm sorry. So, guys, let's kick it off. Dr. Johnson, is there anything you want to say in rebuttal to you leaving him? Let's.
Okay, first off, I've never left my husband. I went on a mini vacation, and I didn't tell him I wasn't going on the vacation. I was always coming back, but I just went on a little mini vacation to refresh my mind, and I didn't take the furniture. Thank you.
I said, hello.
Yeah, your perspective is your reality. I just went on a mini vacation, and I just didn't tell him and didn't answer my phone until I felt like answering my phone, and then I ended my vacation. It's just a little mini vacation.
She did. And now listen, and all of this.
I would have emptied the account, but we didn't have much then, so you know it wasn't. I took my $20 and went on.
All of this with me still standing up every Sunday saying God is a good God.
I don't know what told me that Sunday.
I had to teach Bible study that night, and the house was empty. Woo! We decided that we're going to share how we almost went bankrupt. You know, we've always went bankrupt. You know, raising children, and you know, and it's probably. I was telling somebody it's probably nothing that we haven't been through that a lot of couples haven't experienced. Now, I've never cheated, and she's never cheated. That's one thing that I've never been abusive. I've never been abusive. So those two things probably, I just, you know, kind of don't know how to share that much. But the pressures of life, you know, how you wake up some morning, you don't want to be married no more. I can tell you about all that. you know, you're like, I don't like you. I don't like you right now.
Wow.
Mario, your family.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I walked back
that's
captive.
brother, y'all. I did.
I walked back captive because, you know, I really believe that when you find a person that's connected with you, your destiny is a part of that person as well. And I wouldn't be the man that I am today. I'm just being honest with you. I would not be the man that I am today if it weren't for her. I know I wouldn't be, you know.
Oh.
Continue. You got anything else you want to add to that?
No, we can move on the show.
Like that's what we need.
Yeah, I did. Guys, I'm trying to share a go. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So let's come up with a few talking points, man. I know Mario really brought this idea out, man, and it's different now that we're living in this pandemic. That means we get a lot of FaceTime with our wife, more than we would normally get.
Right.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's true.
So Mario, is there any questions you want to start off with, or anything you want to ask or talk about before we get started? Well, as we're getting started.
Okay. Well, see, I have been instructed not to embarrass her. Don't tell all our
We're being raw. We're being raw
right now. I'm telling everything, girl. You know I'm going to. Don't tell all our business. Don't embarrass me. And I'm like, okay. So, how? Just like the topic says, how do you?
We are an open book.
No. How do you not? How do you? Just plain and simple, right? Just what it says. How do you not kill your spouse during a COVID-19 outbreak? What do you do to remain an individual during this time when you're laying eyes on this person more than you normally would lay eyes on them? You're with them more than you are normally with them. You don't have the break time like you would normally have it to kind of be yourself. What do you do?
Right. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Oh, you can go first, then I'll jump in.
We talked about that a little bit tonight on our show tonight, and we talked about reconnecting. I was reading an article earlier this week, and it was by Will and Jada Smith. And so in the article, she said that she's really finding out for the first time that she really don't know her husband like she thought she knew him.
I saw that.
Yeah, so now she's going back and she's really relearning the person and different things like that. One of the things that we listen, a lot of people think that a marriage is strife proof or devil proof. Everybody got the issues. It's been some days during this quarantine, or even like, you know what? Listen, you go over there, all the way over there. Get away from me. Those times are real. Those times are real. But what I think at the core of everything is that a lot of times what people do in a marriage is they lose themselves. They're not true with who they are, and you have to be honest with people. That's why I think premarital counseling is so important. Some people thought that they married Romeo when they really married Jolio. He was Romeo when y'all were trying to date, you know what I'm saying? But who you really gonna marry is that Joker, he got mood swings just like you, and so you have to realize that who you fell in love with. You know what I'm saying? Go back to that person who you fell in love with. And then in the midst of all of that, just understand that you're not perfect either. If she can love my stinking breath, surely I can love hers.
Well, and we were talking also about the broadcast. So it was two things. We were talking on the broadcast a little earlier. As we get up and everybody's facing this pandemic and people are concerned about their jobs, and we pray about our jobs and our careers and our health. But how many get up and start your day and say, God, I'm believing you for a great day with my family and a great day with my spouse. I'm believing you for peace, and we get along and there's no strife, and we have fun. We have joy together. I was telling somebody that when will you ever have this much time together with your family? Right. When will you ever have this amount of time? And then the other part is balance. The other part is balance, that you're respectful of one another and you're balanced. We spend time together, but also recognize, like you said, that we're all individuals. Let everybody have their space. So I think it's a good mix of the both. Spend time together, but give the other person space.
And another thing, I keep talking. Is that enough, or y'all want to keep? Because we can keep going. And another thing is, don't be. A lot of times we too serious. You know what I'm saying? We too serious with each other. You got to have a sense of humor in marriage. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a sense of humor, and you got to. What?
And he's saying that I have to work on it. I have to, like I was telling
She has no sense of humor.
I do.
She don't.
And you have to learn how to pick and choose your battles. We have 3 boys, and I like my home a certain way. I like things. And if I wake up in the morning, I can feel myself. As I walk through, I'll be like, God, don't. I start seeing stuff. Is that socks? Who didn't flush the lights? I go through the house, count 7 lights left on. Who didn't flush the toilet? And I can feel myself being upset. And then I have to be like, you know what? Okay. Come, bring it back down. And I'm not saying that there's not a time that you need to say something, but you know what? Everybody's here. We can enjoy ourselves. Maybe there's a period of time like, okay, at this point in the day, let's straighten up, or this point in the week. But there is a balance. There is a balance. And if you're not careful, at least I know for myself, before they even get up, I'm already pissed. I'm already upset. I'd have walked through, somebody left this, and I start the day off with tension. And so, we're here. Ain't nowhere else for us to go. So I know I personally have had to work on that. Somebody else said every morning. I have to every morning. I don't know why. I don't know what I think I'm going to wake up and find. They do the same thing every day. Leave the lights on, don't flush the toilet. They do the same thing. Socks. I don't understand.
But now let me say this too. This is important too, because a lot of times, we minister to all types of people. Everybody's not Christian, right? So my wife said, pray and ask God for peace. Well, some people, they may not believe it. They may not pray. Well, what we're saying is have positive affirmations. It should be a routine that you go through every morning before you even get up and talk to your wife. And so I remember in this personal testimony a couple of months ago, before all this pandemic and stuff hit, my wife will wake up and she'll be kind of agitated. And I
didn't wake up agitated. When I woke up and saw the things around me, then I got agitated.
Let me share this. I said, let me share this technique with you, and I'm gonna share this with couples. Let me share this technique with you because it changed my life too. Because I told them, I said, now y'all ain't gonna kill me. I ain't gonna die early. I said, this is what I do every morning before I get up. When I get up, I find 5 things, not a whole lot, not 10, 30, 40, 50, 5 things that I'm thankful for. 5 things that I'm thankful for. You know what I'm saying? If I get up and I breathe, it's good to be seen and not viewed. Thank you, Jesus. I am alive. I am alive. Thank you, Lord, I'm alive. We're not talking, now listen, bills, money, that stuff will always be there. I don't know why people allow that. We got a teaching that we call keep the water out of the boat. That's a whole nother teaching. But what I'm talking about now is just finding things that just help you be centered. So, hey, I thank God that I have breath. If it's a job, you may not like the job, but they paying you to come. You ain't going for free. Man, I'm thankful that I have. And my 3 boys, when I get up and I walk the house and they still sleep, what I'm saying? And they able to sleep and they got peace down there. I'm thankful for that. So I'm just trying to find 3 to 5 things that you're thankful for.
Yes.
And then start your day. You know what I'm saying? And then start your day. And what it does, what you'll find is like every morning you just resetting. Every morning you reset. Now, what I told Kim, and I told her, I said, you're going to start out with 5 things. I said, but as you grow, your list is going to grow. Your list is going to grow. Now, I think her list is long. You know what I'm saying? Because as you start thinking out for those 5 things, he'll start showing you other things. And you'll be like, man, Lord, I'm thankful that I went to the bathroom by myself and not on myself. Just simple things that you can thank him for, just those simple things that you begin to thank God for, and just start your day that way.
Hey, Bishop, I like what Tracy said. It just seems like just make marriage so technical.
Yeah, and what Tracy was saying is like, we just make it so hard. You don't want to feel like you're going to work. And I think part of that goes to communication, right? Communication, making sure that there's balance, giving each other their space. And in this time where we're all quarantined, like, okay, the kids are here doing remote learning. I told myself, we're a team. We're a team. I saw them, they're here remote learning. You know what? I said, we need to work together, because if not, overwhelming to the other person. If one person got to sit there, my husband made himself the lunchroom manager and the PE teacher. I said, well, there's math, there's other things that we're working on.
You got to do what you're good at.
But
right.
Sometimes getting up and going to work, even though marriage is work in terms of you got to make sure that you put in effort, that it matters, that you do things to grow and to build it, but not work where one person is just kind of sitting back and the other person's trying to do everything to make it flow. But work together and be a team.
Yeah. That's somebody else. We spent about 30 minutes on his course.
Sometimes I think, though, to answer her or to talk to her question about it being so technical, a lot of times we are just way too high maintenance in a relationship, or one of us is expecting way more. We don't know how to pick our battles, whatever. We don't know how to pick our battles, and we don't know how to let it go. So it does seem like a lot of work because of the level of maintenance that one partner requires over the other, and then also the level of non-maintenance that the one partner is giving to the other that requires more maintenance. So it's like an ebb and flow. You give, those kind of things. So that's when it feels like work, when everybody is like, you're pulling against each other.
Mm-hmm. Right. And another good thing, Tracy, I thought about it when Tracy put that up there. There is it's a book, or you can just Google and get the highlights. It talks about love languages, and knowing sometimes we think that we're meeting our partner's needs, and we're really not. And love languages, everybody likes to be loved in a particular way, and it's like 5 categories. And for me, my love language is service. I like when you jump in and we a team. That turns. I like that. You go in there, you hit them dishes. You have
time out.
His love language is what? What was it? Gifts.
Yes.
So he likes things. I'm sitting here service, thinking I'm getting the house together and doing all this, and I'm thinking, you see that I love you. You got a good home environment, but he likes gifts. He likes other things. So sometimes you're working against each other because you don't know those things. So that could be another thing as well.
And in this pandemic, I guess we can.
Love language,
Wait.
My love language is affection and appreciation.
There you go.
That what I'm doing, you notice it. It's important to you. But I think that sometimes we have different things that are important to us. Back to what is it, Miss Johnson? Kimberly was saying, I want the house straight all the time. I want it to look like a museum at most of the time. I don't want to go to bed with dishes in the sink. There's no reason for that. But that's not important to my husband at all. So I didn't mean to put that much emphasis on at all.
Now, just like you said, she'll wake up in the morning with she'll be a whole nother person with an attitude. And I'm just opening my eyes, and now I open up. You didn't do this last night. I don't believe you left them this. I'm like, girl, I just opened my eyes this morning. Can you not do that to me right now?
Yeah. We will communicate, and we will agree. Please don't put the clothes on top of the dryer because they'll fall to the back and we can't get to them. And he'll say, "Okay, babe." And 2 weeks later, here we go, clothes on top of the dryer. So anyway,
but you said you weren't gonna tell our business.
I had to learn, and I heard someone say, I think it was Ayala Van Zant. People are who they are. So as soon as we get that, we can be happier with each other. You can't sweat all of the small things. And trust me, that's easier said than done.
It is.
So,
now keep in mind, Pastor and Lady Kimberly, we've only been married, 6 years? 6 years. It'll be 7 years this year in November. So we got married as fully formed adults already I already had my own personality set. She already had. We didn't grow up together, but we dated in high school, broke up in college, and then 20 years later, we reconnected and got married. So we were already formed in our thoughts and opinions about how we like things, how we like to do things. I know what I want to eat. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. And on top of that, we are both 2 youngest children of our family. So
spoiled. The word is spoiled.
Right. Yeah,
both the babies.
So it was a lot. It was a learning curve for us just to learn how to how to be individuals. I lost my train of thought. That happened. Finish it. You're supposed to finish it.
You have to lose yourself in this whole process.
Yeah. Together because we both had our own habits of how we lived.
Right.
You know, so and that's what we had to bring this back to COVID-19. We've had more time to live together awake, you know.
Right.
So, you know,
it's a process.
Turn the bathroom fan off.
Oh, I can't stand that bathroom fan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that just did something to me. Bathroom fan.
Go ahead, Jay.
But
I like lights in the house. You know what I'm saying?
I have to dial back and think about what's really important. You know, and at the end of the day, he's a great husband, he's a great provider. So you can't just, you know, I'm not going to let my marriage fail because of the small things, although they can be quite aggravating.
I think you made a really good point. You know, is you got to put things into perspective, and it's really challenging in the moment when you see something and you know we've talked about it before, we've said something, and it just can begin to get under your skin, and we can magnify it and make it bigger than what it is. But that's one of the things I would always say with him is you have to put things back in perspective. Is the, you know, like you said, the other person's fully grown, got their ways, their personality or whatever. But if you put it all in perspective in who your spouse is, I know that they love me. They're a good person. They're a provider. They're this, they're that. They got a couple of quirks, you know, fans going and some kind of way the clothes don't make it quite into the basket. It's like it get real close to the basket and it just drop on the floor. We don't make it.
Exactly.
You know,
We're working on our skills. That's all. Just working on our skills.
I'm missing his he's trying to do, but
Try to get back in the league.
I think you bring up a very good point, Ms. Dupree, is putting things.
I want to ask a question. James, what's your love language, sir?
Everybody's like,
I'm all about support, man. If you, I mean, we've talked about it before. Because of what I do, because of me being a business owner and things like that, I'm constantly on the move. So I've got to have that person who's going to support that and understand that I'm not out just fooling around. Now I make time for the person that I'm with. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll never put my businesses before all of that. Like I'll never do that. I don't have to do that. And but at the same time, there are some times when you might want to chill and I can't necessarily chill this night. Or even there's times when we may have something planned and something comes up that I just have to deal with as a business owner. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't happen often, but there are times it does happen. So for me, it's all about support, man. I've been in relationships where the support wasn't there, and that's just not going to work. Because if I'm out doing something and I'm trying to build something,
right,
the person that's with me isn't on that same mind frame, it's just not going to work. Right. I mean, it's impossible to work. So for me, that's what it's all about. But man, I love this question that Tracy just put up there.
Yeah. You want to take a stab at it there, James?
So, all right, yeah, I'm going to take a stab at it. And the reason why I'm going to take a stab at it is I currently am living with my girlfriend. And we are not married at this point. Marriage is coming soon, but right now we're not. So my actual feelings on that is, in our case, there were some situations that happened that made it almost to where it needed to happen now. My personal feelings of it, if you can wait. You know, if it's possible for you to wait to do it the right way, then do that. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's dependent on the individuals. Now, I don't have no judgment toward anybody. I mean, I've known people that's lived together 10 years and then up one day decided they was going to get married. You know what I'm saying? So, and they had a good relationship. They had, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody would have really known they weren't married unless they told them.
Right.
So I think it's all about the individual and the couple itself. Now, I will tell women to be careful because there are guys who will live like that for the rest of their lives. As men, we will get really content with getting the whole cow and not having to pay for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you giving us all the wifely stuff, there's some men in their mind, well, why should I do this? Like, right now, if I get upset with you, I can pick up and leave. See, when you're married, it's hard to do that. But if we just shacking up, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's real easy for me to just get up and go and dip somewhere, and it's all good. So I will tell women, you got to be careful, because there are some men who would just say, listen, like, we already living together. We already doing everything together. Why we got to do this? You know what I'm saying? Like, why should we take this next step? Or it's just the next step. It really doesn't matter. So that's where you got to be careful. But other than that, you know, my feelings is kind of neutral on it, and always has been, even before this situation.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say mine. Y'all going to hell. You're living in sin. You're watching this. You need to repent. I'm just joking. Bishop, I'm sure you got some wise words on this. And after you speak, we're gonna do a quick commercial. We're gonna tell about all our business that we have, because we have a multitude of businesses on this page right now. So Bishop, go ahead and give your piece about Tracy's questions about people that are living together before they get married.
Okay. I'm gonna give you two answers, okay? Now, it's hard to say that you're a Christian and then living with somebody and then before you get married, right? Because, you know, if you're Christian and you're living together, then you're gonna be doing other things, and you know you're gonna be having sex. There's no need to even lying about that. You know, you're gonna be having sex. Don't talk about, we just living. She sleep downstairs. That's a lie. No, she sleep downstairs, but you going downstairs. You know, let's just be honest. Secondly, you know, paper does not make you married. That's another question. That's another thing you got to understand. It's a whole lot of people, listen to me, that are married. They're married, but they're still living in sin. Okay. They hate each other. They're strifeful. They're jealous. They're envious, and all those types of different things. Here's what I would say: if we can live together, if you're going to make that commitment, then we shouldn't go all the way. I would tell anybody that. Don't just there's no way I can say I'm going to go swimming, but I'm going to put my feet on the side of the pool. If I'm going to swim, I'm going to swim. You know, I'm going to swim. If I'm not going to swim, then I'm not going to swim. Now, I know people do, they say they're doing it for all different kinds of reasons. Well, we're doing it to save money. We're doing it to save up. We're doing it but no, when you pull back all those layers and you really look at it, the root of the thing is fear. That's what you got to deal with. You got to see, why is it that we're not taking this next step? You know, now it could be fear that, you know, the person in their mind may have this wonderful idea of this beautiful marriage, and that's what they want. Make the commitment and say, okay, we'll go ahead and get married. We'll go down to the courthouse. We'll make things right. And I'll make a commitment to you to give you the wedding that you want. You know, so I just feel like if you're gonna swim, don't put your hand in the pool. Go swimming. You know, if you're gonna fly, you know, don't keep riding buses. Fly. If you're gonna do it, go 100%, go all in and do it. Did I answer that okay?
Sounds good to me.
Excellent. Any other question? I mean, well, before honey, you got anything you want to say? Anybody else want to say anything?
Go ahead.
Okay. So we're a little bit after the 30-minute mark, and usually at this time, we talk about everybody's business that are represented. But before that, I'm gonna ask this question. During the pandemic, how do we keep it sexy?
Oh man, this is what I'm talking
Taking
about.
a bath.
This will be our next question. How to keep it sexy during the pandemic?
Put on a new outfit every day.
Wait.
We're coming back out.
Oh, after the commercial. I'm sorry.
Come back.
Never mind.
You know what I'm saying?
You didn't say nothing.
All right, Mr. James Fred, you go first, man. Talk about Daylight Media.
All right, so yeah, Daylight Media, man. We are a photography and videography company. do a lot, man. We working on some stuff. I actually got a short film I'm working on now. Actually, 2 short films I'm working on now. One with my girlfriend, the other one with my son. Me and my son superheroes, man. Y'all gonna love it. Like it's really dope. Y'all gonna love it for real. But we do commercials, man, for businesses. We have a lot of different packages we can put together, photography, videography packages. We can help you get branded. We can help you get yourself out there. So if anybody needs any services, make sure you hit me up and we can make it happen.
All right. Excellent. Next we got up Miss wonderful Leonard in her script studio. Talk about it. Let's handle it.
Hello. I am representing Scripts Embroidery Studio, and I will take care of all your babies, bands, businesses, and Greek embroidery apparel. So if you need embroidery, I can do it.
Awesome.
We also do vinyl press t-shirts.
Yes, I also do t-shirts.
Corporate.
Well, I said business.
Okay, you did. Okay, all right. Let me shut up.
I'm also wearing one of my infamous camo jackets. Seems like I can't move on, which is a great thing because I've had a few orders for these that have really kept me busy. But anything you want embroidered, whether it's for babies, bands, college fraternities, high school fraternities,
we got you.
Give me a call.
Okay.
Hold up, man. We just had a question popped up that says, "What about quilts? Y'all do custom quilts?"
No.
I can embroider quilts. I just don't make quilts.
No, be quiet, man. She let her answer the thing.
And you can reach me at 205-200-7607. Again, that number is 205-200-7607.
All right, and before we move on,
she sounds like a newscaster in here.
They go them affirmations. There you go.
So before we move on, everybody's been in, man. I didn't get a chance to holler at anybody, man. If you're watching us from a shared page, go to the 3 Black Guys page. That's 3, and it's in the number 3. The 3 Black Guys show. Thank you. 3 Black Guys show, and like and share that page. And we're on every Sunday at 8:30 Central. 8:30 Central. Next week we're going to be talking about mental health issues during the pandemic. But right now we're talking about marriage. Is there the Johnsons? You guys are next because my wife has a whole lot of businesses to talk about. So, is there anything that you guys want to say?
I mean, you better get it in now because once
ours is the ministry. We go out and do workshops, marriage conferences, and things like that. So,
but you know what? That is thank you for this opportunity. There is one thing that if you guys could help us with this, we're asking everybody to give a $2 donation. We've partnered with a ministry and we've been feeding them over the entire pandemic, giving them free groceries every week. But what has happened, because here in Georgia, they've opened up the state. So now people in the community need gloves and masks. Gloves and masks. So our ministry, we're going to be providing gloves and masks. And I'm trying to get 100 people to donate $2. If you can donate $2, what's 2 times 100? $200. We can buy a couple of boxes of gloves and some masks. I found some masks and some gloves that we can purchase, and so that we can go out and give the people in the community gloves and masks. Because if you haven't been paying attention, the community that we are servicing and we've been helping is a minority community. Black and brown people are dying. I don't know what people need to understand this. Black and brown people are dying. They're dying disproportionately from this disease.
Hey, Bishop.
Is there a cash app for that?
Is there a cash app for that, Bishop?
Okay, go ahead.
I got it. Oh, I got it.
Okay, we'll have
I'll put it on the Facebook page.
Bishop, what I need from you is an address, because my other business is I own a janitorial service. So I can get gloves and masks. So
see, thank you.
We'll get that to you.
Praise God. Praise God.
Give me the address, and I can send you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that's what we're believing to do is provide boxes of gloves. We're continuing to feed with the groceries, but in addition, we're believing to give each family a pair of gloves and mask that they can use.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, man.
All right, Miss Tanya Myers, go for it.
Tanya Myers, CEO, CFO, and boss mogul of the Myers Ultimate Life Empire. So the first business that I'm doing right now that is keeping me so very busy is I, on a fluke, started making masks for my wonderful husband so he could be at the UAB hospital and not get all the spittle on him from others, right? I made him a mask, and it just kind of blew up from there. And I've made 100 masks. Today, I think I did 50 masks. I still have more to do to get out for orders. So that's the big thing going on right now, since everybody has to have one, is I'm making masks. We also have Myers Ultimate Lemonade. That has kind of taken a back seat a little bit to the mask and everything else that's going on, and with the and with the social distancing and stuff. But yeah, those are the big things. And then I do public speaking and host workshops for women's groups and leadership.
Awesome.
Now, for the phone number, if you want to reach it. So I have a bunch of pages, but Cash App is $ Myers Ultimate if you want to order. And you can send me a text message to 678-327-3674. Again, that's 678-327-3674. I'll send you a whole little thing with all of the patterns if you want to order them. Or you can just hit me up on Facebook at Tanya Myers, and we can talk about that there. But I do want to know from the Johnsons, how do Stephen and I, and perhaps the rest of our married group, how we get to come on vacation to one of them big pretty houses y'all go and do those workshops at? Because I'm feeling some kind of way, having known y'all all these years, and I haven't been able to go to the big pretty house for the married retreat. Me and my husband got problems to talk about.
And that is a wonderful thing that our friend is doing. Her name is Nakia Gresham, ASU alum.
Infinity Marriages.
Infinity Marriages, ASU alum.
She does a phenomenal job. So she plans these marriage retreats every year, and she finds the best location. So one particular group, they've been going for years. And so it's about 13 couples. So she finds these homes. They have to have at least 13 master bedrooms. It's beautiful. Oh my God. But she does them for different groups. So that's how the Johnsons get in, because we get to go and speak. And then so the Johnsons, I have to ask her. I'm like, now where you get that house from? But I don't know who she uses. I can find out for you. Sometimes she has other sessions and other speakers, so I can put that connection in. But they're absolutely beautiful. They're beautiful.
Okay. Oh, kicking in with Key. She says she's in here via chat. What's up, Key?
She's on the chat on YouTube.
Yes. All right. Cool. Okay, Key. All right, guys. So we're back from that very long commercial break.
We back to taking baths.
Hey, but you know what though? I'm glad that we are doing it, man. We are moguls in our own right. We are entrepreneurs, and we're making it happen for ourselves. And so I'm
part of the marriage pandemic survival.
Right. You got to have a side hustle in this here pandemic. And let me say one thing: y'all getting them stimulus checks. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. All right. But I want to get back to the marriage gurus, man. And how do we keep it sexy and fly during the pandemic? Because like you said, we wake up with the stanky breath. We done seen the draws. The guys wear the holy draws, and the women wear the mama draws. And
and we can't get our nails done.
You know what I'm saying? How do we keep it sexy during the pandemic, man?
Well, I was going to say first, I think it's interesting that you brought that up, because we
apologize about that. I want to apologize.
Okay. Well,
let me apologize. Let me clarify something, because I saw a question during the commercial. I'm old school Pentecostal. That's just who I am. I did not mean to judge anybody and say that you are non-Christian because you may be sleeping together. Your walk with the Lord is between you and your walk with the Lord. So sometimes my Pentecostalism will come out of me, and then my back to, we'll say stuff in Pentecostal that ain't backed by the Bible. So just forgive me for that and charge it to my head and not my heart. That's what I want to apologize to that young lady. Listen, hey, if you're living,
we all give an account.
We all give. Hey, that's what your personal relationship with the Lord. I don't know anything about that, but the base of it is I would want to know, hey, if we want to move forward in marriage, let's see why we're not doing that, and let's answer that question.
Absolutely. Wonderful.
So keeping it sexy during the pandemic. It's interesting that you brought that up because we've had other couples bring that up. And I like something that Tracy said earlier. Tracy said you don't want to feel like you having to just work.
Right.
And so I first want to say, before we go into the part about keeping it sexy, I think that there should be balance. You shouldn't expect your spouse, and sometimes we expect women, you got to walk around like you're looking like a model or something. Nobody feel like doing all that, putting on all the makeup and doing all of that. But there is Steve was like, what? But there is because if you're at home relaxing, I want to relax too.
So that's okay, relaxing the makeup and the heels and the shorts.
That ain't relaxing. That ain't relaxing. None of that stuff ain't relaxing. That ain't relaxing. It don't feel good.
I was telling them
It don't feel good. Nobody want to put that stuff on.
First of all, here's what you got to do.
But hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. So, some basic things. Number one, you can take a bath. Okay, we can all agree that we can bathe. Yes, we can bathe
together, or do you mean just please?
We can bathe together or separately, but make sure you wash your body and deodorant. If that's what you require, water, soap, deodorant. You can put some lotion on. You can do something. I think balance in terms of you don't have to have your hair all styled like you're finna go to the office, but you don't need to walk around every day. And I'm just speaking for women where it's tied up. Your husband hasn't seen your hair in days. Nobody's seen your hair. It's tied up. You got the bunny on. So those change up your clothes.
Take off that duster. My wife is very proper and prim. Listen,
but that duster helped me go to the kitchen and cook like grandma.
Take off that duster. Take off them bloomers. I want to see your navel. I want to be able to see your navel. I was telling the guy the other day, I said, listen, man, you can't expect for your wife to read your mind. I said, you got to tell her what you want.
Right.
Lay out the expectation. And the same thing with the wife. Listen, you've been wearing those same sweatpants every day. Take those sweatpants off, man. You've been outside working on the car, coming in the house, man. Look, man, you smell like oil and butt. Take that off. Take that off, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fix yourself up when you take a shower. Put some cologne on. G-strings. Listen, okay, because I don't know your audience. So do your audience when I say G-string? What that mean? You know what I'm saying? It is the underwear with the string that go down the crack of their butt. I'm telling you. They're right there. Woo. Come on, Doc. I'm telling you, bro. Hey, they're right there.
You might get a string periodically, but it's not an everyday string.
Don't pull your pants up over your stomach. Don't do that. Please don't do that. And fix yourself up. Take a bath. Brush your teeth.
Put on something. You might have your yoga pants. Put on a different shirt. Just put some effort. Again, you don't have to dress up and make yourself up if you you're going to the office. Now, some people just like to do that. I think it was Tracy just put up. She says she likes to put on makeup. Well, that's good. But everybody, just a balance. There's a balance. But you don't have to look like you just rolled out of bed every day. You just rolled and you just kept going.
No, that's just surface. That's surface stuff right there. Because generally, to be honest with you, man. At the end of the day, we want to see some naked. I mean, let's just be real.
Come on.
You want to see it naked? Kids in the house. We got to figure out how to make that thing work.
To get to that problem. We can.
To get to that
I was grown and gone. Bye.
Listen, the same thing it took to get your baby hooked. It's going to take that and more to keep them. Okay? So You got to, I was telling them when we were, come on guys, let's think about back in the day, we were trying to get them, you know what I'm saying? We were on the prowl, we were trying to get them, you know, hey man, we was putting roses in the bed, you know, we was lighting candles along the tub, and we letting your wife take baths in rose petals. Never you got to keep all of that. You got to keep all of that. Candlelight dinners. You know what I'm saying? Your husband would love to come downstairs one day, and you ain't got nothing on but some pumps and a boy.
Okay.
Hold on one second.
There you go.
Hold on.
Yeah. What I'm telling you, hey, I'm telling you, you got the
because
I don't wear G-string.
My husband has another name that I've given him, and he's called Mark because Mark was when we got together. Oh, he did everything right. He was smooth. He knew what to say, how long to hold me.
Yeah.
So the men got to take off those basketball shorts from high school too.
Yes. All right now.
Them same ones they've been having on since Monday, and you accounted today. You like, man, now you had them on Monday, bro. You know what I'm saying? All of that, you know what I'm saying? But the main thing is reconnecting back to that place of, you know, what can we do to keep it back spicy in our marriage, and giving it time and attention. That's what I believe couples need to get back to. You know, we put a lot of emphasis on the things like G-strings, dressing up, putting cologne on, those types of things. But find those ways that you can reconnect, taking long walks, giving each other a massage, non-sexual touching, but just touching, you know, rubbing each other's feet, rubbing each other's back. Listen, well, I asked Kim this the other day. Me and Kim talked about this the other day. Passionate kissing. When the last time you really kissed? You really just kissed?
Wait. We lost somebody.
It got you off. I got to go. Long, passionate kissing. You know, all of that stuff, man. Snuggling. You know, all of that. Playing footsie. Men laying the game down, you know, you talking that gambling, that real, you know, hey, we got to get back to that, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got, hey, when you get back to all of that, that'll set the tone for a lot of different, that'll set the tone, you know. You know what? She won't mind putting no G-string on when you put that Mac game on. I'm telling you what I know.
Come on, son.
Hey, listen, listen, guys, man, listen. You got to put the full court press on, man. Full court press, baby. Hey, don't let her breathe. Full court press.
Really? Hold on. Me paying these bills ain't good enough. I mean,
the sink got a bunch of dishes in it. Not Erica. I can't find none of the press with the dishes.
I'm back.
Right.
Where'd you go, James?
Almost choked to death.
But those types of things, and but reconnecting on that level, talking, you know, Kim and I, we used to love to go. We used to love to go on rides. She loved to get in the car and just go for a drive. And I had forgot about that, you know. And so the other day, we just went driving, you know, and getting back to just communicating and talking, you know. Those are the things that'll get the affection back flowing in your marriage and relationship.
Awesome. This has been a wonderful show. You have any questions?
I'll say this, like, one thing with the pandemic, it has created space for like Stephen and I to take walks around the neighborhood and just kind of thing that we never got to do before. And we even do, like, our kids don't want to go past the block, which is fine. We just leave them on the porch. And then we go all around and we get to hang out and talk and plan. And I can express some of the things that I need to have done that would help me, help us.
Do it.
You know, we just get to reconnect. And I've even seen a lot of that in the neighborhood with just families and whole during the pandemic. So while it's stressful, it still has been good to bring people closer together.
Now, one rule that I will implement for the Myers, and the reason I will say I will implement this rule is because they're new parents. Sometimes when new parents, your conversation is all about the kids.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. We old. We old people. And I'm raising these jokers to get out of here.
Go ahead, bro.
Wow. Like you said, it's a beautiful thing if we maximize this time. We've lived in our community for 8 years. It's people I ain't never seen before. Daddy's out there playing catch and ball with it's really beautiful to see the families out, and you never saw that before. You really didn't see it.
That's good.
Leonard, y'all got any questions? We got to come up to about our 5-minute mark.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, with the exception of people passing and becoming sick, I have really enjoyed time off with my husband, and whether I'm up under his armpit or not, just watching him work on his motorcycles and being at home and us watching movies together. So I really enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah, it has been good. Stephen come home every day, and it's great. They're waiting for him. We're ready. So teamwork makes the dream work.
That does my heart so good because, that's what I was telling them. I said, I believe families can come out stronger on the other side of this. But so many people, been so eager to go back to work. I ain't gonna turn this into no political talk. My wife, she have to tell me about it, but the people that the people that are saying they want to go back to work ain't never did no hard work.
Right.
Have to reel them back in.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They might not like their husband or wife. I like my husband. So.
I'm ready to go back to their own. A lot of people in the house anyway.
James, anything you want to say, sir?
Hey, James.
No, man, but I do think that this is the perfect time for couples, married couples, whatever relationships people are in, to get closer to each other. I think, and like I say, I've been married before, so I know a lot of times through the monotony of just everyday life, you can grow apart and not even know it. And that's why you have a lot of people now saying that they didn't even know certain things about their spouse because just through everyday life, not through anybody's fault or anything like that, just everyday life. You get into a routine, everybody get up in the morning, get the kids up to school, you go to work, you come home, cook dinner, you go to bed. And you follow that routine every day.
Yeah.
And through that, you just your marriage or your relationship becomes a routine. And that's where things tend to fall apart at. Then you realize 10, 15 years down the line, you have forgotten about the person who you lay next to every day.
Yeah.
So this time is the perfect time for people to kind of get back and know each other and know and realize who that person is that they're laying next to every day. And and I understand people need to get back to work and they need to do everything, but like Ms. Myers said, man, I mean, if you really like the person that you're with, this should be an awesome time for you right now.
Right. James, my brother said basically you are dropping the ball for the He-Man Woman Haters Club. He thought you were gonna represent the single brother up in here tonight. You know what I mean? So
I can't do that because I'm technically not single. And I have to be careful because
right, and she is on here.
And she is
right. Look, who am I gonna
I ain't crazy. I know, so Don't worry, bro. I'm repping.
Don't fall in that trap. Don't fall in that trap. That's my brother.
All right, so I got one simple question. Well, not a simple question. I know, Pastor Bishop George, you are a gregarious, outgoing person, and your wife is the more introspective, thoughtful. How is that dynamic? And I know certain households do have that gregarious side, and some of us are more introspective. How do you deal with that as we're about to leave in a few minutes? How was that affecting you guys' dynamic in the house?
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, we've been together for so long. Like I said, I think that what they say, what you love about the person, same thing that kind of irritates you. He brings the life and the fun. And I, make sure that we can go on another day because he'll have a real good time. I'm like, wait a minute, baby, hold on now. But he brings the life and the fun, and I just kind of bring that other level of balance. But I think we flow pretty good. I have to come out of my little box because I'm more introverted, and when he wants to do things and more outgoing, and then he also has to know how to let me have my time and my space because I can have fun all by myself, sitting in my room with my remote control. And it's just quiet. Nobody say nothing to me. So we just learn how to respect that and balance each other out like that.
And I think you grow together. I remember when we first got married, she would like to go off to herself, and I didn't understand that, because I grew up in the house. It was always a whole bunch of people in my house.
And loud.
And so we talk, and if you don't know, I talk real loud. Mm-hmm. I'm like this all the time. With my oldest son,
all my kids loud.
I was talking the other day. He thought I was hollering at him, and I'm like, no, man, I'm sorry. This is, it was always around the home. As you grow together in a marriage, you begin to understand and know one another. And so now I know when she tells me I need a minute, she really needs a minute.
And if he gives that to me when I come back, I'll be better. But if he don't give it to me,
right,
then he'll see the other side. And so,
Yeah, because there is other side. See, my wife.
There's the other side to this now that I try not to bring out.
She's from West End now. I tell you, all that Dr. Johnson, that can go out the window. He will turn up in here, baby.
Right.
You don't let me have my time.
So you have to give each other that time. And then when I'm in one of my moods and I want to talk, and I've asked her the same question 50 times, she'll keep answering it. It's just a matter of just it's give and take and just having that respect for each other. And at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, at the end of the day, we're friends. Right. This is my homie. You know what I'm saying? This is my homie. Yeah. We're best friends. So at the end of the day, I know that if she does something, she's not doing it to hurt me. Right. She's doing it because it's probably for her own mental health. And if I do something she knows he's not saying it to her, it's probably because it's for his mental health. So
it's for my
I hope we answered the questions tonight, guys. We were who said Pilot? From Pilot.
My sister. Yeah, we from Pilot.
Pilot, baby.
Hey, Tracy, she would have been on tonight, but she had to go to her hometown and deal with some family business there. So that's why she's not on tonight, but she is in the chat. So yeah, she's watching. So
yeah, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, man, don't be listening to them folk, man.
Right, I got.
My brother's good for starting messing.
I'm real tough in the barbershop. I'm real tough.
Right.
I'm talking about show enough tough. Barbershop.
Okay, guys. Is there any other Mario? You got any questions? Final questions, Erica? Anybody?
No questions. Just a statement. Because I know I'm gonna get cut. But I've enjoyed my time. The time that extra time that we've had. We've learned each other a lot more during this time than we previously have. I know I can be moody a lot, and when I'm moody,
oh, baby.
I know I can be moody, and I know when it's time for me to just, like you said, I know when I need a timeout. and I'll just let me go to my little space and, you know, just let me be. But we've learned each other a lot more during this time, and I enjoy spending my time with her. We've had some good times doing this.
People don't understand the pressure of a black man, man. This war out here, man.
You hear me?
War, man. This is war.
It's rough in these streets.
Man, this has been great. Any parting shots, honey?
No, I've enjoyed it. I don't really I'm not looking forward to everything opening back up yet, to be honest with you.
Me either.
Just because I kind of like the simplicity that life has taken on now. Back to, you know, when I was growing up, it's simple. You work, you come home, be with your family, you have your church service, and they said, I think even my kids have kind of like us being around now. They like all four of us in the house and everybody being together. So I'm not looking forward to the hustle and bustle that was. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to get out of a bunch of stuff that I was in that is unnecessary.
You know? Yeah.
Right.
James, you was going to say something?
Who, me? No, man, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Well, guys, man, I just want to say, man, for me, I can be either or introverted or extroverted, mostly introverted, and I'm a homebody. I've always been a homebody, but it hadn't really affected me that much. But I love coming home to my wife. I love coming home to my kids, man. To rescue my wife.
Yes. Yeah, Bishop, I'm the lunch lady. I'm the homeschool teacher. I'm the PE lady. I do all of it during the day. And
shout out to lunchroom managers.
But so we all look forward to him coming home to rescue us. I think even the kids get sick of me because I'm not a soft woman. I'm like Maddie Mouse Clark. I ain't never been no soft woman. I ain't no soft woman. I push my kids. Like, what you mean you don't know how to carry the one, borrow the 10? What you talking about? Yeah. So they need him to come home too.
Okay. This is an excellent show, guys. Johnson's, you got to come back on here next month, guys. We got to make this a monthly thing for you guys to come on and be with us. Can y'all? Y'all can say that. I'm pushing y'all to say yes.
We would love the opportunity. Thank you for having us. We sure
Thank y'all for having us, man. We really appreciate it.
Everybody, give the Johnsons a hand clap. Like y'all.
And thank y'all for having us, man.
Thank you for having us.
We really enjoyed it.
Absolutely, man. I love what my wife said about the simplicity of life, man. I love coming home, dinner cooked, and she's in them thongs. And my bad.
Take the material from
you at work all day thinking about that.
You know, fishnets and high heels, boy. All right, here we go.
I'm taking over the script, get some initials put on them.
Okay. Turn up, baby.
And I'm back.
Praise God.
It's been an awesome show. 3 Black Guys, y'all. We're here every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Central, guys. Don't forget that it's Central, man. Johnson's, anything else you want to part with? Any numbers you want to give anybody? Let them know where to go to find you guys to get some more of that great marriage information right quick before we go.
Yeah, just on our Facebook page, Success Nation, or Bishop George Johnson Jr. We come on every Sunday and we minister about marriage and family. We talk about conflict resolution. We talk about sex in the bedroom. We talk about how to handle children, how to get along. We've given our lives. We finally found our niche in the kingdom, and I believe that's building families.
That's good.
Awesome. We're gonna get your information, put it out there on the page. All right, guys, put up your 3s.
Look at my nails; they're a mess. I'm in pandemic mode.
Put up your 3s, 3 Black Guys show. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Love you.
Amazing, guys. Thank y'all for having us.
Bye.
Hold up, guys.